Doing today?
Fantastic. Thanks, Lawrence.
Mike, so you're coming in next Thursday on June 24th to present at Great Orlando RIA. We're super excited to have you. I know you're flying all the way in from Minnesota. You've been in the business for 30 years. This is just a quick call to introduce you to our members. Let them know what you're going to be presenting on and why they should come out and see you speak at our event on June 24th in Altamont Springs.
Absolutely.
On
Yeah,
July
I'm gonna
24th, excuse me, July 24th.
on the 20, yeah, on the 24th. That's Thursday night, right?
Yep.
So I'm gonna be talking about how to negotiate and talk to sellers, how to build that rapport, and how to present offers. One of the main things that I do is a multiple offer strategies. I always make that cash offer, but I also come up with a couple other creative alternative seller finance carrybacks or sub two deals, and I give the sellers options, right? And so I want to share with your members how they can increase the odds of they're getting deals accepted, as well as I know that in a lot of parts of the country is they're struggling with pricing, and things are getting a little bit soft, and it's getting a little tougher to work with deals in their market. And the one thing we're not seeing is a lot of multiple offers like we were a few years ago. Those days are gone, which is actually a better opportunity for us as investors. We just have to shift our mind frame and look at real estate a different way and approach it a different way and give the sellers more options. And the more options we can give them, the more they want to actually work with us. And we can give them the right types of options that, yeah, you maybe if you bought the property for cash and flipped the property, you might struggle a little bit because they're sitting on the market for a little bit longer. But you know what? There's a lot of people out there right now that are looking for ways to buy properties because they don't have the down payment, or their credit is a little bruised and they're trying to rebuild, they're trying to get back on their feet, and they're looking for a deal, or they're looking to build equity in a property. And the way I buy properties is, either the seller's going to accept my cash offer, which I'm going to be able to flip because I'm not overpaying for it like everyone else has been, right? Because I'm going to be coming in with a good offer, and I want to show you guys how to run those numbers and figure that all out. But then give the seller some other alternative options where they can get a higher price off the deal, right? But then we need to have a different exit strategy because it's not going to be a flip. Maybe it's a wholesale, maybe it's holding on to it as a rental property, burying the property, or turn around, sell it on a contract or a wraparound mortgage and just cash flow the property. So that's what I'm going to be talking about and focusing on when I'm there Thursday night.
No, I love that. This is literally the perfect market for that right now. What I mean by perfect market is one, there's so much inventory, especially in my area. I know you come from Minnesota, but in Florida right now, there's just so much inventory. People can't sell these properties. People think it's going to sell eventually, but some of them don't. The listing expires. And with that being the idea behind it, people are more open now than ever before to accept a creative offer. So you're going to be coming in and presenting that. So I think it's such a perfect topic for this moment in time. So that's going to be amazing. Let me ask you this. What are you currently doing in your business right now? What do you currently do?
I'm doing a lot of different things, but I'm really focused in on picking up properties that are pre-foreclosure, like literally in 10 minutes. I'm going to look at a property right now that's in foreclosure, and we can still reinstate the mortgage, but I got a week to do it. So I'm going over this afternoon. The seller just called me. They owe 330 on a property that I believe is comping out around 450 right now. And the seller's going to want a little bit of money, but as long as they're not crazy, I'm going to go ahead and, they're motivated. The property's already vacant because they've already moved on. They just don't want to ruin their credit. They want to save their credit. So I'm gonna go over there and take a look at it right now and hopefully get them a good offer.
No, I love
And
that. A big thing for me, especially with our members, is what I'm passionate about is actually having operators come and speak, not people that are not currently doing the business. I know you're currently doing the business. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to have you come in and present and speak versus someone that is out of business that's just kind of telling us what they used to do back in the day. So, very
right.
important question and why I asked you that. Let me ask you this. I know you have to run because you're on a time clock with trying to get this property. Real quick, one piece of advice that you can leave with our members between now and when you see us in a few days. about just real estate investing or this market or anything in general that is a good piece of advice that you want to leave with them until they see you in a few days?
Well, the one piece of advice I've tried to tell people a lot is you have to get out there and talk to sellers, and you need to make offers, because if you're not even making offers, you're not going to be buying properties.
You're not even in the game.
Right, you're not even in the game. So you still have to be out there looking at properties and talking and negotiating with the sellers. Even if you're, nervous right now about making the offers because, you knew how to do it cash and that was the only thing you knew how to do. I'd say between now and then, go look at some deals, maybe even pull up some of the leads that you've looked at in the last month or two. See if the properties are still there. Maybe like you had even mentioned that a lot of your inventory is getting on the MLS and then they're expiring. Those are great resources to look at to try to see if the sellers are motivated. And I've been actually getting leads from realtors right now as properties are not selling and they're putting them on the market and they're sitting there and they're not getting the offers. And so one of the things that I do is I network with realtors and let them know that, hey, if you got a listing that's sitting there for 3, 4 months and you're not getting a lot of activity, if your seller starts showing some more motivation, reach out to me. I might be able to buy that property creative financing with your seller. So I'm gonna need you to work with me. So I'm gonna talk about some of that kind of stuff as well when I'm there. But just get out there, maybe find a few deals that you've either looked at and see if they're still available, or get online and see if you can find some properties that are expired or about to expire, so that you at least have some leads and something to think about by the time I get there. And then when I'm there on Thursday night, you can come up and ask me questions on that stuff.
No, that's amazing. No, that's actually perfect. I mean, right now, think about high days on the market. And if you see the listing pictures and the pictures, the house is vacant, people are making mortgage payments, taxes, insurance, lawn maintenance, electrical, utilities. And God forbid that home's been vacant for a long time. They don't realize there's AC leaks, roof leaks, there's all kinds of things that can happen. So people, even if they say they're not motivated, I think that they definitely are motivated more than what people think when you see a
Well, and
vacant
that
house
that
just
brings up a
sitting
good
there.
point. What I talk about when I'm going to be there is how to get that motivation out from the sellers. It is because that's what we truly need to find out is what their true
100%.
motivation is. And the sellers don't want to tell us up front because they want to hold something back, right? But the way I present my offers, I'm at least keep them interested and engaged in that. And where I find most of my motivating factors, which really seal the deal, is after I make my initial multiple offer strategies offer and I get the sellers talking to me. That's where the real motivation starts to come out. And that's where we can really structure deals that are win-win for both of us.
No, it's going to be great. I love it when the sellers say, hey, well, it doesn't cost me much to sit on this property because I don't owe anything on it. So that opens up a whole nother door for creative seller finance and for you to structure
Absolutely.
the deal, which I know you're going to be talking about. And that's where I
Yep.
wanted to lead the conversation to. So it's perfect. I can't wait to see you. You're going to be here July 24th, Thursday, 5:30 p.m., Shell Insurance Center, Altamont Springs. All the details will be in these links below. We can't wait to see you and have a safe trip, and we'll see you in a few days.
Sounds great. I'm looking forward to seeing you and everyone else down there.
Thanks, bud.